lady quickly went to open the door to get out of the car, but it was then that she finally realized that the door didn't have a handle on the inside.
You just now realize?
So their idea of justice wasn't jail, it was death. The crowd of people beat him viciously. Angelina's husband ripped a steel rod out of a metal fence and began smashing his head with it, while another neighbor attacked him with a makeshift spear.
Now I gotta stomp your nuts in. Your nuts are gone, bro. I gotta get them. I gotta get them up out of here, bro. You cannot have those anymore, bro. You cannot be a part of the male species. We gotta take them up off you. And welcome back to another video, man. BryceDaBadger back with another one for you. And tonight, wherever you at, I got serial killers who accidentally chose the wrong targets, man. The worst targets. The worst possible people you could probably pick to try to take up out of here. They picked them. Mike Tyson, they picked them. Your face gone. Melted off. Crazy. Let's go ahead and get into it, bro. Shout out to Talking Hat. He made this video. Link is in the description. If you like the video, like the video. Subscribe if you fuck with the vibe. Let me catch you there, man.
The Cheetah incident. In 1993, at a club in California, a demon prowled the venue. Unbeknownst to many, the Grim Sleeper, a man who'd ended the lives of 10 women, was searching for his next victim while everybody else was drinking and having fun. He noticed an African-American girl that seemed annoyed and upset, so he walked over to her to figure out what was wrong. The lady told him that she was invited out to play dominoes, but everybody there kept offering her drinks and telling her to club when she wasn't a drinker. It was extremely late, and she was tired and wanted to go home, so the Grim Sleeper pointed to his vehicle outside. He told her that he has a car, and if she really wanted to go home that badly, he could just take her. Delighted, the woman sprung out of her seat and followed the dangerous criminal back to his car.
Like, what type of thought process is that, man? You really got to use your brain sometimes. You got to analyze the situation. You got to use your discernment if you have any, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this is something that you're taught from your parents or something. I don't know. But like, bro, come on, bro. Come on,
got in first, and he shut her door like a gentleman. Then he got into the driver's seat and began taking her to her house. After a while...
Like, is this not one of the first things you learn as a child, let alone a girl? You know what I'm saying?
Well, she told him to make a right turn to her house. But
stranger danger.
Confused, she repeated herself. You're supposed to make a right over there, not a left. Realizing the criminal was no longer responding, the lady quickly went to open the door to get out of the car. But it was then that she finally realized that the door didn't have a handle on the inside.
You just now realize?
She was literally trapped in the car. Becoming filled with joy, the monster finally revealed his intentions to the woman. And as you could probably guess, they were horrible and evil. But there was only one problem with his plan. The woman he was talking to wasn't any ordinary person. The Grim Sleeper had accidentally trapped himself inside a car with the Cheetah, also known as the most dangerous woman in the world. A title that would be given to her just 1 year later, as she'd go on to win the 1994 kickboxing championship.
Kickboxing? Man, hey, send this nigga nuts to the shadow realm, nigga. Kick him straight in them bitches.
When she was young, she was ruthlessly bullied and chased around the town. Her uncle was a martial arts master, and unknown to the Grim Sleeper, her uncle forced her to fight him every single day in order to get her black belt. At the end of the day, whenever she finished practicing with her colleagues and got ready to leave, her uncle, also known as Master Quiet Storm, would lock the door with the key. And if she wanted to exit the dojo, she'd have to beat him in combat and forcefully pry the keys out of his hands.
Man, what type of boondocks ass childhood this lady had? This is crazy.
She did this every single day as a kid. As the criminal asked her to comply with his sick demands, she told him no. As you could guess, this angered the psychopath, so he swung at her with his full might. But immediately she blocked his punch and spun back with a devastating counterpunch, striking him straight in his face. Oh, so you're a fighting type, he said as he smiled. The woman
Nigga, she ain't no fucking Pokemon. She about to... What? Hey. Goodbye, nigga. Goodbye. We gonna see you on the other side. Know what I'm saying? She gonna turn you into orange juice. But no juice. Just pulp, nigga. Just pulp.
Quickly jumped into the back seat of the van, and he followed after her, which would go on to prove to be his worst mistake. Once he was trapped in the trunk of the van with the professional champion kickboxer, she unleashed a hellish attack on him. He tried to tackle her, but she grabbed his shirt and swung him around in the trunk of the van, smashing his head against the inside of the vehicle. She then flipped his shirt over his head while unloading a flurry of non-stop punches to his face, causing him to fall backwards on his butt. At this point, the girl noticed that his pants were unbuckled and falling down.
So whoop this nigga ass. How your pants get unbuckled? You got your ass whooped so bad your pants got unbuckled, nigga. Your body said, I gotta pee right now, bruh. Something, I don't know.
So while they were
this
still
shit
in the
crazy.
trunk, she stomped on his chest and grabbed his, and pulled them so high that she thought she ripped them off of him.
I mean, I know I told you to do it, but
The grim sleeper shrieked like a banshee and began crying out in pain. He quickly gave her the keys to unlock the van and escape. But before she left, while still pulling his royal jewels, she told him, "When I say no, it means no," before delivering a nasty right hook to the crying man, nearly knocking him out. She took the keys, unlocked the trunk of the van, and quickly escaped while throwing the keys away so that he couldn't follow her.
It's crazy,
Freddie Gibbs would go on to win her first championship after that year, officially titling her as the most dangerous woman.
Bruh, you don't fuck with a woman like, bruh, did she look like that? Like, what type of clothes was she wearing? Could he not tell that she was cut like fuck? Like, why would you even try that?
Live. And years
he said a year later. There's no way a year later she got that cut. She already had some muscle, bruh. What the hell did he see?
And years later, the grim sleeper would let
dumbass nigga. Hey, somebody get that granddaddy, bruh. This nigga stupid as hell. I mean, I ain't know. Like, man, put your eyebrows down, nigga. Put your eyebrows back down.
Later be caught and arrested in 2010 because of an eaten pizza crust he left at a crime scene.
Wow. That's insane.
When a bitch says no, she means no. And I walked in, bam, then I left.
The Nightstalker. In the summer of 1985, the city of Los Angeles became gripped by fear. Night after night, a mysterious intruder slipped silently into homes across Southern California. He struck in darkness, often entering through unlocked doors or open windows while families slept, and he did the absolute unthinkable to his targets. If there was a man in the house he broke into, he would immediately just end them, then he would attack and assault the man's family, often carving evil imagery into women and anybody else in the house, and then he would stab them until they perished. Victims described him as a thin, satanic man that had wild eyes and reeked of sweat and cigarettes. Police didn't know his name yet, but the media soon gave him one, the Nightstalker. This individual had 15 victims tied to his name, and by all means was a top priority to officers in the nearby counties.
Absolutely.
On August 31st, 1985, he casually strolled into a nearby convenience store to pick up a beverage because he was thirsty. And right next to the drink he was grabbing, he noticed a rack of newspapers that all had a wanted poster of his face on it. He immediately panicked.
Ain't the community whooped this nigga ass?
Looking for an individual to target and carjack so that he could leave the
area.
area.
The community beat the dog shit out this nigga.
A 28-year-old woman named Angelina. Without wasting a second, he began to punch her in the stomach and forcefully steal her car from her. What the Nightstalker failed to notice is that her neighbor was nearby watching it happen, and he also had huge balls. As the neighbor ran over to help Angelina, the Nightstalker told him to stay back and warned him that he had a gun. The 50-year-old neighbor called his bluff and ripped the scumbag right out of the car. And it was at this point that this man had realized that he'd chosen the absolute worst neighborhood to do a carjacking in, because he instantly found himself surrounded by a huge, angry mob. Everybody in the neighborhood knew who he was. They knew all of his crimes.
Stupid ass nigga, bro.
They weren't police officers, so their idea of justice wasn't jail, it was death. The crowd of people beat him viciously. Angelina's husband ripped a steel rod out of a metal fence and began smashing his head with it, while another neighbor attacked him with a makeshift spear made out of barbecue equipment.
I don't blame him though.
Multiple people grabbed and tugged at him from different directions, beating him senselessly with anything they could find. They beat him so bad that when police showed up, he began crying out, "I did it! It's me!"
I did it!
Begging them to arrest him. Reports state that once he was arrested, he began speaking Spanish to himself, saying, "Thank goodness the police came and arrested me. I'm so lucky." When he was taken to the police station,
Bitch ass
a crowd
nigga.
of 500 people surrounded the building chanting, "Kill him," in unison. He would go on to receive 19 death sentences. However, he would pass away from cancer at 53 years old in 2013. Honestly, if I was the cop tasked with arresting him that day, I probably would have just driven around in circles and pretended like I couldn't find him so that he could spend some more time with the crowd of victims he had been terrorizing for the past year.
Oh, God.
The crash out incident. While most either don't know or just don't believe it, this man is a serial killer.
Yes.
Allegedly. He grew up in the Parkway Gardens, an area that would later on become named O Block, which is named after his close friend and mentor, OD, when he was murdered.
It's crazy. You put King Von on the list?
A little later, Pontoon, another one of his friends, would pass away in the same way. And, I should probably mention that his father was also murdered when he was 11, but he still had a brother-like figure that he kept around as a close friend, White, except not really, because in 2012, White would pass away on Von's 18th birthday right in front of him at a gas station.
Damn.
It's important to note that it was this specific traumatic incident that caused him to become a serial killer, as after this moment, he would later on be connected to over 10 or 11 murders throughout his life, whilst also taking deep, nearly sociopathic pleasure in the lives he ended and putting it into his songs. Allegedly, of course. Nonetheless, he really did what he rapped about in his music, which is what caused him to develop contempt for another popular up-and-coming artist in his industry, Young Boy. Von took a lot of pride in the crimes he committed, especially since it was what eventually made him become popular and successful. Young Boy, in a lot of ways, is similar to Von, but Von didn't believe that he actually did any of the things he rapped about. So for him to see another artist getting more virality than him, when he believed he was a fraud, quietly upset him. And so, completely unprovoked, he'd go on to publicly say that Young Boy lies in his music online.
You got cap in your raps.
You got cap in your raps. This would start a pretty petty back and forth between the two young men. Von would begin flirting with the mother of Young Boy's kids. Young Boy would flirt with Von's ex, then they sent disses at each other.
Chat, I don't keep up with none of this shit. None of this mattered to me ever. This is the first time I'm really learning about all this shit. Didn't really notice. Can't lie. It's pretty stupid.
And, blah blah blah. You get the gist. Despite the clear animosity between the two individuals, Von would go on to say that there was no bad blood between him and Young Boy at all, which would later on prove to be obviously untrue. On November 5th, 2020, he would get up, hop into his bulletproof Hellcat, and head out to a club to perform his show along with 8 other cars that were guarding and following him. At the club, despite everything seeming normal and fun at first, people close to Davon noticed that he seemed off. The man frequently mentioned paranoia and feeling like the spirits of the lives he ended were always watching him. Many people said he could switch from being calm, collected, and silly to seeming very off or sociopathic. A lot of people generally started to believe that he might have had a literal demon living inside of him.
No, nigga, that nigga got fucking trauma. That nigga need to go to a psychologist, not a therapist, nigga. He needed medicine. Yes, that nigga needed medicine, bro.
Something seriously wrong with his head. And it was noted that he was allegedly given inside information that one of Young Boy's friends was at a nearby club that was extremely close to him. This friend's name is Quando Rondo. After he finished performing at his show, he and his entourage got up, went inside of their cars, and headed back home to call it a day. However, suddenly the security guards noticed that Von's car had gone missing. He made a detour to the club that Quando Rondo was at and waited patiently.
Like, why?
His entourage later on showed up and found Von. After regrouping with him, they put all of their weapons away inside of the car and got ready to head inside of the club.
But why?
But it was at this moment that one of Von's associates located the person he was looking for. As Quando Rondo was leaving the club, Von bumped into him head-on and began to beat him ruthlessly.
Why?
The man was terrified, later stating that he didn't even know who was fighting him, but once he realized it was Von, it felt like the devil or a demon was attacking him.
It's like I had an out-of-body experience. Like it's like the devil was coming.
I remember when this nigga had this interview though.
It's like my soul.
Nigga sounded like a hoe. Ain't he an announced Crip too? Like he ain't not a Crip no more.
Von was doing what he loved, and the man he was attacking was likely going to become another victim that he'd rap about in his songs. But there was just one slight mistake he made. He assumed that his target was alone, and was so laser focused on attacking his target that he failed to realize that just 2 feet away, a random white car was full of Quando's crew. all of whom were armed. And when they saw their friend being attacked by Von, they didn't hesitate to shoot him 4 times. Even after getting injured, Von continued wrestling and attacking Quando until the two were eventually broken up by their crews. Undercover police officers ran to the scene and began calling backup. The man had 4 holes in his body, and blood was leaking everywhere inside of the car, panicking his team and friends. Nonetheless, he was still alive and conscious. He'd even go on to tell his friends to calm down because he was fine. While he was successfully delivered to the hospital, during surgery he'd suddenly shoot up awake in cold sweats.
What?
He'd throw the nurses and medical staff who were operating on his body off of him, and then began swinging at them.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said, "Where his gun at?"
In a state of
What? I ain't know nothing about that. That's crazy. What the fuck? Nah, this nigga body got all types of trauma. This nigga's brain, that nigga brain was fucked, bro. Hey, can they, is she cremated or something? Can we analyze his brain for, like, scientific study? Is that fucked up to say? Like, nah, this is crazy. This nigga is getting his life saved currently in surgery, and this nigga woke up and pushed these people back and said, "Oh, where my gun? Nigga, lay your dumb ass back down. Like, what the fuck is you doing, man?"
complete shock and panic, he began searching for his gun on the
nah,
surgery
bro,
table,
we got
but
to-
then froze. And suddenly, as he woke up, he collapsed from shock, marking his end. To think this situation all stems from about 5 or 6 words is insane. He's got pretty good music, though. The spoon incident.
Spoon?
A newbie walked into the prison earlier that week, and seeing that he was fresh
Spoon?
meat, an atrocious criminal named William Roberts decided it was time to assert
Did I fuck up
some
the recording?
dominance over
My
him,
fault, chat.
since he seemed like the perfect
Let me go
target.
back.
Earlier that week, and seeing that a newbie walked into the prison earlier that week, and seeing that he was fresh meat, an atrocious criminal named William Roberts decided it was time to assert some dominance over him.
William
since he seemed
Roberts.
like the perfect target. It's unclear exactly what sick intentions William had in mind for the man when he approached him, but what is known is that when the two interacted, the monster began to boast and brag about the most heinous crimes he had committed in an attempt to put fear into the heart of the man and make him yield to his requests. He walked up to the man's seat where he was eating, then he set down his food tray and began eating beside him. "What are you in prison for?" he said. "Because I'll let you know that I'm practically allowed to do anything I want. I'm in prison for having my way with a 4-year-old, and look, I'm still here. So what about you? Are you here for..."
Now I gotta stomp your nuts in. Your nuts are gone, bro. I gotta get them. I gotta get them up out of here, bro. You cannot have those anymore, bro. You cannot be a part of the male species. We gotta take them up off you. What the fuck is you talking about? You did that to a woo, and then you say you can do whatever you want. You still here? Not for long, buddy. Not for long. I'm walking around this bitch. Hey, y'all know that nigga did what he did, right? That nigga just told me he could do whatever he want. Y'all gonna let that nigga do that? I'm not gonna let that nigga. Shit, what if, hey, somebody give me a piece of metal, please. Like, this shit, we got to get that nigga, bro. What the fuck?
Car theft, insurance fraud, reckless driving? After sitting and listening to William's monologue, the man calmly responded to his questions. "I'm a serial killer. I'm in here because I ended a man that was bragging to me about the horrible things he had done to multiple kids. I strangled him so hard that emergency responders said his face became blue like a pair of jeans, because I hate predators. They thought I was crazy, so they sent me to a mental hospital where I bumped
Why would he be great?
into another person who did the same horrible thing to kids. And so I ended him too. And now they've sent me to this prison, and just like deja vu, I have another predator telling me the same thing. I
Damn.
just ended the life of another prisoner 2 hours ago. I hid his body under my bed, and I hoped I wouldn't need to do the same thing to another person for a while, but I guess I was wrong."
And that's all this nigga heard, bro. All this nigga heard. It's over with. Funeral. Go ahead and give it to him. Matter of fact, he don't even get one. Shit. Matter of fact, cut the flute too. He only get about 10 seconds.
William Roberts just happened to choose the absolute worst person to brag to about his crimes. He was talking to Robert Maudsley, a serial killer specifically known for only targeting predators.
Nice.
And in the blink of an eye, Maudsley grabbed the spoon off of his food tray and jammed it into William's face.
Oh my
He
God.
screamed horrifically, but Maudsley didn't stop there. He ruthlessly beat and continued to carve away at the man's face with his spoon. He stabbed him over and over again, and somehow nobody in the prison noticed what was happening at all. William screamed and pleaded for help until he couldn't anymore.
Yeah, I bet they
After
didn't
Maudsley
notice.
was finished, he calmly walked over to a prison guard and told them that 2 prisoners would be missing from the roll call today. Extremely concerned with that ominous statement, the guards ran into Maudsley's prison cell and found the body of William and another prisoner. William's face was
the other guy he killed
unrecognizable,
earlier.
but most horrifyingly of all, his brains were carved out of his skull with a spoon sticking out of it. The prison guards
Are y'all sure
immediately
about that
believed
one?
that Maudsley must have cannibalized the man's brains,
Are y'all sure about that one?
but he calmly denied the accusation and said something around the lines of, "No, I wouldn't do that, nor would I lie about it." The man would later on be placed
Okay,
inside of a glass
I guess.
box where he would go on to spend the rest of his life in solitary confinement.
Hannibal Lecter.
Most people
Okay.
in life are amazing to be around, but every once in a while there is a chance that you could bump into a psychopath, so
All right.
always take precautions and always be prepared.
I ain't gonna lie, that nigga did scare me. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. When the money ain't there, that nigga looks scary, bro. That nigga, how tall is he too? Like 80, like 5'6", 5'7". Like, bro, that nigga is a threat, you know?
So that you too don't end up as a victim. Have a happy day.
You have a happy day too, man. Look at the little kids. Goats, right? These are goats. So these are baby goats. These are kids. Yeah, they're called kids, baby goats. Ain't that nice? Great way to end the video. Listen, man, if y'all like the video, man. This was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. These people made some horrible decisions, and then they made another horrible decision in who they chose to do the first horrible decision too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you like the video, subscribe if you fuck with the vibe. Let me catch y'all in the next one, bro. Peace.